If you struggle to attract a really healthy masculine man, it might be because you are too much in your what I call good girl energy. Instead, you may be attracting men who are much more on the abusive spectrum, using you, they're selfish, they take advantage of you, and your needs end up going unmet. I'm going to be talking about why that's happening and what you can do to shift it to attract the strong, healthy, loving, devotional masculine man that you need in your life. Hello, I am Zach Rohde, and I am here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams by inspiring a man to cherish you using your feminine energy and feminine communication. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscription button below. Be sure to hit the notification bell, and of course, like this video because I'm going to make sure that it's a good one for you. All right, so what do I mean by good girl, first of all? This is really, really important to understand. A man in a relationship, a healthy man, does want a good girl in the sense that she is listening to him, that she's, not doing drugs and a lot of unhealthy, dangerous stuff, all of that kind of thing. But when I am referring to the term good girl, it is like the same thing, the gender equivalent of the nice guy. Right? It's like, do women want a nice guy instead of like a bad guy, like a jerk, an a-hole, a guy that doesn't treat her well? Yes, she does, unless she's extremely unhealthy. But a woman doesn't want a nice guy in the sense that he's just compliant and does what she wants and is a people pleaser and has no boundaries and has no sense of self. Right? That's not attractive. A woman's not going to be attracted to that. And the same thing, of course, is going to be true for a guy. A healthy man does not want a woman who is not in her self-worth, who lacks inner boundaries, who is a people pleaser, who will dishonor her heart to try to get her needs met. And the difficulty for women is that the good girl actually looks quite similar to what I describe as a really healthy feminine woman. I'm going to explain what that means. So, a healthy feminine woman is one who is following a man's lead, right? She is receptive, she is agreeable, she isn't resistant, she doesn't get stuck in blame and judging him and negativity. She is going along, flowing with his leadership, just like a woman is going to flow along in a tango dance with a man, right? She's going with the leadership. She's following. She's submitting to him. That is healthy. I'm going to explain why if you're new to my channel. And that is what a healthy masculine man wants, because a masculine man needs a woman who respects him and trusts him. That's what turns him on. That's what inspires him into cherishing her, into taking care of her. The problem is that good girls are following, they are agreeable, but not for the right reasons. Right? Like a healthy feminine woman, she is following a man's leadership because it's a full yes in her heart. It feels right to her. Her needs are getting met, and it's easy for her to just follow. But the good girl will often follow for the wrong reasons. She's doing it to get her needs met. She's doing it for an outcome. She's actually doing it unconsciously to manipulate. She's doing it because she's afraid that if she doesn't go along with what he wants, that he might be upset with her, that he will get angry with her in some kind of way. She will also tend to not share what is coming up for her, right? She's not going to share her feelings very often or at all. She's not going to share the problems that she's experiencing. She doesn't want to rock the boat. So she's going along to get along. And when a woman does this, it looks feminine because she is following just like a healthy feminine woman. But she's often dishonoring her heart. She's doing it to try to get her needs met and to try to avoid abandonment. So she's a people pleaser, and she's either being a people pleaser by trying to get a man's approval, or she's trying to avoid a man's disapproval in the things that she does, typically by following, by whatever she is receiving from him. And she might receive breadcrumbs from him, right? Like she's not receiving enough, but she doesn't say anything. She might also be exposing herself to his unhealthy leadership, maybe even dangerous leadership, emotionally dysregulated leadership, like if he is yelling or if he's critical of her or if he's complaining, and she kind of just tolerates it. Like she's just so agreeable that she's accepting of all of this behavior that she should not be accepting of. there is still something really beautiful about a woman who is able to not go into judgment and blame and resistance and all of that stuff in the face of a man's essentially disrespect and lack of devotional behavior. But a woman's journey, if this describes you, right? If it's like, oh my God, I have a lot of these good girl traits. The problem is that you might think, okay, like I think I'm being really feminine. Why am I not attracting healthy men? The reason why is because you're not actually being feminine. You're wearing a feminine costume. Every people pleaser, every woman who is a people pleaser in this way is wearing a feminine costume rather than embodying her feminine energy. Because when you're embodying it, you're truly letting go. You're opening up and receiving, and everything is a yes to you. And if it's not a yes, you're going to communicate. You're going to use feminine communication. You're going to be vulnerable. You're going to share all of your feelings exactly the way that we teach in our academy program, our masterclass, my books, everything. By the way, all the links to my offers are below in the description. Make sure you check them out. That's how she's going to be communicating. But the people pleaser isn't, because she doesn't have the self-worth to do so, and she's afraid of doing it. And do a check-in with yourself. Be realistic. Do an honest self-assessment. Like, if a man is not treating you well and you feel something negative, you feel a little bit of anxiety, you feel some sadness, you feel some anger, whatever, are you going to let him know? Are you going to tell him what's going on with you? Are you going to ask him for help? Are you going to open yourself to his leadership in that way? Or are you going to just kind of sweep it under the rug and hope that he changes and continue to tolerate whatever it is that you're tolerating? If you are doing the second thing, what is going to happen is you're not in your self-worth, okay? You're not in your feminine self-worth. He is going to feel that. A man can sense when a woman is not in her self-worth. And the way that a man's body responds to that is he will lose attraction, he will lose interest, and he will lose the desire to take care of her. I'm not saying it goes away completely. I'm saying it decreases. Like, one of the great things about my work and what I am doing to teach women is I have been that guy that, like, I wouldn't say take advantage, like I wasn't doing it consciously, but I was stringing women along without trying to manipulate them. It's like I knew I wasn't going to have anything serious with them, but I wanted to have sex and I wanted to have friends with benefits and I wanted to have a good time, and I wouldn't be just overtly clear about my intentions when they probably would have wanted to know. But the women that I was dating, they were too much in their good girl energy to even ask or to share their feelings of anxiety about what my intentions are, right? So they're just going along to get along and not rocking the boat. And so I have that experience as a man, which, by the way, I don't promote. I don't think it's a good thing. You know, looking back, I'm not proud of any of those behaviors, but it's given me the understanding to now properly teach women to much better understand men and understand how they are getting the wrong results with men and what you can do about it to fix it. Okay? Because so many of these women that I dated, they were in that good girl energy, they wouldn't share their feelings, and I didn't feel much attraction to them. I felt enough attraction to sleep with them. I felt enough attraction to go on another date with them. I felt enough attraction to, want some kind of friends with benefits relationship with them. But I didn't feel enough attraction to want a relationship, like a committed, exclusive relationship where I'm leading towards marriage. I knew that from the beginning. I didn't feel the inspiration to step up into my masculine energy fully and just take care of them in all the way that they needed, provide for them, protect them. I didn't feel that. Well, to be fair, I didn't feel that for two reasons. One, because I had my own wounds, right? And so I was attracting a certain type of woman over and over and over again. But number two, I was also not attracted because they were not in their healthy energy, right? They were not communicating what was coming up for them. And so I would just lose the attraction. I'd lose the connection. I'd lose the inspiration because they're being way too much in that good girl frequency rather than in their full feminine self-worth in the way that I teach. Things could have gone very differently if the women that I was dating were doing what I'm teaching now. Like if they were sharing their feelings vulnerably, if they were communicating their needs, if they were asking me for help, if they were unwilling to tolerate my undevoted leadership, if they were unwilling to continue seeing me, if I was not demonstrating that I actually was really serious about them and really wanted to take care of them, what would have happened was, with one of them, I would have felt way more attraction, and probably a lot of them, but there'd be one that I would have chosen. It's like, oh, I feel so much more attracted to you. I want to take care of you. I want to be in a relationship with you. And I would have been inspired to be my absolute best. I would have been inspired to actually heal my wounding way earlier than I ended up doing it. Many years later in my marriage that I eventually figured this out and started healing this. I would have healed that so much earlier, and I would have led them into an exclusive relationship because I'd be so much more attracted and I could feel their self-worth. You're not going to be able to do that unless you're fully in your self-worth as a woman. So what you're going to be stuck with is men who are like I was, just not really devoted and just kind of more selfish, wanting to sleep around with women, not be exclusive. And the thing with me is, like, I was successful with women because I was very confident in myself and I was very charismatic. So you're going to attract those men. You probably will attract those men anyway, but they're not going to want to lock you down. So they're just going to use you. That's not going to be good. Or you will attract men who are much weaker. They're not really in their self-worth. They might be people pleasers themselves. They might be more in their feminine energy. And you're just not going to be attracted to them. That's what you're going to be stuck with. Men that you're not really attracted to, that might want a relationship with you, but you don't really want one with them. Or men that you are really attracted to, but if they do want to continue seeing you, they don't want something serious because they have way more options and they cannot feel the level of attraction that they need to feel to want something serious with you. You shift this by learning how to shift from good girl energy into your feminine self-worth. That means, like I said, using feminine communication, being vulnerable, learning how to communicate all of your needs, learning how to not tolerate things that you really shouldn't be tolerating. This is what I will teach you in my upcoming masterclass, in my academy program, in my books, in my webinar, everywhere. You can go to any of my offers right now by going below this video, opening up the description, clicking one of the links, and you start learning. It's that simple. You can change your life right now. Go do it.